Agriculture has a lot at stake in this election, and you look at the two different candidates that are running for president to start with. They have very different philosophies on what not only ag policy but general philosophical what the role of government is. And so from an agricultural standpoint, I think we stand ready to work with whoever's elected president, but I think ultimately we have a lot of priorities as we look into next year of some things we'd like to accomplish, and that moves into the congressional elections too. So you've got both the House and the Senate up for grabs. We'll have to see what party takes control there, but ultimately what it comes down to is that we are going to be defending farm and ranch families in Washington, D.C., and so we represent them and the policies that we're trying to do, and the list of things that we have on our to-do list includes trying to get a farm bill done. We're going to attempt to do that this year yet, but if that doesn't happen, we have next year to do that. We'll have to see again who's in control of the Senate, who's in control of the House, and then who ultimately is in the White House to implement that new farm bill. Then you fast forward a little further and we have taxes. We have the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that was passed at the beginning of the Trump administration. That expires next year. And so we need Congress to act on that, and you're going to see that action take place next year. You get further into that, and one that the presidential election is really going to impact, and that is the regulatory side of things and the long list of regulations, whether they be environmental or their agriculture focus coming from USDA. There's a lot on that list, and a new president is going to have an opportunity to address a lot of these things. If you have President Trump come in, there's a good chance he's going to try to repeal a lot of regulations that came from the Biden administration. If you have Vice President Harris that ultimately wins the presidential election, you may see some continuation on the regulatory side of some of the initiatives that President Biden started, but ultimately that's still a new person. That's still a new individual. There's a lot that we don't know what her policies will be moving forward on the regulatory side of things. But ultimately, really, Washington is up for grabs in a big way. I think margins are going to be very thin. Our members are paying very close attention to that. Farm Bureau General is paying very close attention to the election because of what it means on the policy initiatives we try to pass forward. We get questions all the time. Members ask if we make an endorsement for president. We do not endorse presidents. That is the one that we don't. But I think ultimately we stand ready to work with whoever's elected. We are a nonpartisan organization. We're not going to side one direction or another politically. Policy is our focus, and we're trying to work with any member who's going to work with us, trying to enact the policy priorities that our farm and ranch member families pass every year.